So the first thing that I'm going to notice, let's underline key information. Use the fractional units on the left to count up on the number line. Label the missing fractions on the blanks. So on the left of the number line, I see that we're using halves. Okay, we're measuring in halves. So when we're at 0, we're measuring in halves, it's 0 halves. And then we have 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, and 4 halves. Now down here, we're measuring in fourths. They've done the first one for us. So we have 0 fourths, then we have 1/4, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, they've done for us, 4 fourths or 1 whole, 5 fourths, 6 fourths, 7 fourths, and 8 fourths. Okay, so we filled in everything. Let's look at the next one. Again, we're working in halves. Look at the unit and fractions. Now we're starting at 0, so we're going to have 0 halves, and then we're going to have 1 half, they've done it for us, 2 halves or 1 whole, 3 halves, and then 4 halves they've done for us as well. Okay, now we're working in sixths, okay? Sixths, that's the unit of fraction. And they've started it for us at 0 sixths, okay? And then we're gonna have 1/6, and then they don't want us to do this one, but they want us to do this one. So we have 1, 2, 3 sixths. Now, we can fill it in if it just helps you to see. So I'm going to change the color so you can see we're just filling in to help us count. We have 1/6, 2 sixths, 3 sixths, 4 sixths, 5 sixths, and 6 sixths. Okay, that's 1 whole. We have 7 sixths, 8 sixths, 9 sixths, 10 sixths, 11 sixths, and then they want us to mark 12 sixths, okay? All right. If you need more time to check your work, go ahead and pause the video here. Let's look at number 2. It says use the number line above 2, and then we're going to need some colors. Color fractions equal to 1/2 blue. So you're going to need a blue color pencil or crayon. Color fractions equal to 1 yellow. You're going to need yellow. Color fractions equal to 3 halves green. You need green. And color fractions equal to red equal to 2 red. And you're going to need red. So these 4 colors. So let's start with all the blues. Color fractions equal to 1/2 blue. So I can see this is 1/2, so I would just color over it. And I'm going to color it blue. Now 2 fourths is also in the same place. You can see here, we're at 1/2 and 2 fourths. The focus of this lesson, boys and girls, is to be able to see and recognize that fractions can be equivalent or the same. So 1/2 can be the same as 2 fourths. Okay, let's keep moving down. So again, we have 1/2, and an equivalent fraction is 3 sixths. Okay. So color fractions equal to 1 yellow. So now we're looking at wholes, 1 whole. We know that 2 halves is 1 whole, and we know that 4 fourths is also 1 whole. Again, we know 2 halves is 1 whole. See, so here 1 whole, and 6 sixths is 1 whole. Those are equivalent fractions. Okay. Now it says color fractions equal to 3 halves green. 3 halves, so we're starting here. 3 halves will be green. Again, an equivalent fraction is 6/4. 3/2. And then 9/6. Okay. And then it says color fractions equal to 2, red. So here I see on my number line, here's my 2. So 4/2 is 2 wholes. 8/4 is also equal to 2, or 2 wholes, okay? 4/2, and then 12/6. I'm going to shade in that 2 because that was my focus, okay? So we've done all of them. Go ahead and pause if you need more time to color in your fractions. This looks a little pink, but it's red. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to number 3. It says, use the number lines above to make the number sentence true. So 2/4 is equivalent to, so I'm going to look up here, and they're telling me to look at 2/4. Now, 2/4, since it's in the halves, I know it's going to be equivalent to, if I look here, they have the same denominator, and it's going to be 3/6. Okay, they asked us, use the number lines above. Now, okay, let's look at the next one. 6/6, okay? So we're going to look at the number lines and see which one has 6/6. Okay, here is 6/6, okay? It's right here. Now they've shown three fractions. So 6/6 is equal to 2/2. And 2/2 is also equal to 4/4. You can see they've just moved up and down the number lines because these are all equivalent. This is one whole. The unit of fraction that have changed is looking at the denominators. Okay, let's look at the next one. 3/2 equals, and then again, we have 2 more fractions, but they're all going to be equivalent fractions. So if I look for 3/2, here's 3/2, and here's 3/2. I'm looking at the denominator, and they're looking for a denominator with a 6 that has an equivalent value. So 3/2 is equivalent to 9/6, okay? And 9/6 is equivalent to 6/4. Again, they just moved up and down on the number line on this same, looking at 3/2. Okay, oops, you couldn't see any of that. Go ahead and pause it here, boys and girls, if you need more time to correct your work. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn the page. Let's look at page 128. Okay, it says, Jack and Jill used rain gauges the same size and shape to measure rain on the top of a hill. Jack uses a rain gauge marked in 1/4 of an inch. Jill's gauge measures rain in 1/8 of an inch. On Thursday, Jack's gauge measured 2/4 inches of rain. They both had the same exact amount of water. So what was the reading on Jill's gauge Thursday? Draw a number line to help explain your thinking. Okay, so let's underline some key information. Jack and Jill use rain gauges the same size and shape, okay? And there's 2 friends here, Jack and Jill. Jack uses a rain gauge marked in fourths. So Jack uses a rain gauge marked in fourths. Go ahead and circle that. Fourths. That is our unit of fractions. Jill's gauge measures rain in eighths. So underline Jill and circle eighths. Eighth of an inch. On Thursday, Jack's gauge measured 2/4 of an inch, 2/4 inches of rain. So I'm going to underline that. On Thursday, Jack's gauge measured 2/4 of inches of rain. They both had the same amount of water. So what was the reading on Jill's gauge Thursday? We need to find what was Jill's gauge, okay? What did her read? What did hers read? So they want us to draw a number line and to explain our thinking. So let's go ahead and start with that. So here's my number line. And I'm going to start with Jack. And Jack uses a rain gauge marked in fourths, okay? So I'm going to start with 0, and then I'm going to mark off fourths. 0, and then I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. And 4/4. That's the same as 1 whole, okay? We're marking in inches, actually. That is our unit of measure. So here we have 0/4. So we've done Jack. Now we need to do Jill. And I'm going to write Jill right over here. And I'm going to mark hers on the bottom. Just like we did before here, where we had one fraction on top, one on bottom, we're going to do the same thing here. But she has her gauge marked off in eighths of an inch. So I would start here and I would do 0/8. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to do 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. Okay? So now they want us to, they both had the exact same amount of water. So what was the reading on Jill's gauge Thursday? They told us, sorry, on Jack's Thursday gauge, so his measured 2/4. So I'm looking here. If this was Jack's on Thursday, so on Thursday, Jill's read 4/8. So let's write our sentence. Jill's reading was 4/8 of an inch of rain because 2/4 equals 4/8. Those are equivalent fractions. Okay? So if you need more time to copy that, boys and girls, and to draw this picture, go ahead and pause it now. Okay? Let's look at number 5. It says, Jack and Jill's baby brother Roscoe also had a gauge the same size and shape on the same hill. He told Jack and Jill that there had been 1/2 inch of rain on Thursday. Is he right? Why or why not? Use words and a number line to explain your answer. So now Roscoe said he also has a gauge the same size and shape. He told Jack and Jill that there had been ½ an inch of rain on Thursday. Okay. So we want to know, is he right? Well, let's draw a number line. And we're going to compare it to Jack's. So we're going to draw a number line again. And since I know that Jack has Jack's gauge is measured in fourths of an inch. So I'm going to do 0, and that's going to be 0 fourths, 1/4, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, and 4 fourths, and 1. Okay. Now, Roscoe, I should label that. This is Jack. And then we're going to do Roscoe. Let's try that again. Roscoe. Okay. Roscoe says that his had been ½ an inch of rain. Looking at this denominator, that tells me we're measuring in halves. So his first measurement here would be 0 halves. Then I would go to ½ 1/2. And then here is our 1/2. At that 1/2, 2 halves would be 1/2, boys and girls. Okay, so on Thursday, Jack's was, we said it was 2 fourths. So Roscoe said it was half. Is he right? Are they equivalent? Yes. Yes. Roscoe is right because 1/2 is equal to 2 fourths. You can see here on the number line, they are equivalent, boys and girls. Okay. And that's it. All right, kids. Thanks.